Good morning, Flosstube. Welcome back to the channel on this Saturday the 21st of December. We have a fairly stormy day here in the central belt of Scotland. Showers are rushing through, the trees are bending in the wind. Fairly typical Scottish day. It is much milder than it has been of late though. The temperatures have picked up a wee bit, so it looks like we're going to have a mild Christmas as opposed to a frosty white one. But then that seems to be the norm nowadays. Welcome to my existing viewers who have come back for another fill of Stuart's stitching. To the new subscribers who have joined the channel, welcome. I hope you continue to enjoy what you're seeing. To anybody who has stumbled across this video in the off chance through the joys of the YouTube algorithm, I hope you enjoy what you're watching. If you do, give me a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, get notified of when I record. I generally record about every 2 weeks at the weekend at the moment. We'll see how that continues into the new year. If you want to get in touch with me, there are a couple of ways, well 3 ways actually. You can comment on the video, always a good one. There's Instagram, my Instagram handle is Stuarts and Stitches, the link will be in the comments below, well, the description box below rather. And my email is stuartsandstitches@gmail.com, again in the description box below. So always good to hear from everybody who's watching the videos, always enjoy the comments and emails, comments on Instagram, all that good stuff. So thank you for those who are participating and engaging. It's always good to talk with our stitchers. Right, moving on. What are we talking about today? So I've only got 2 pieces to show you today. One is a whip and one is a finished object. Or a finish, rather, I should say. I don't know, finished object. I suppose they're one and the same thing. And probably only the 2 pieces because, well, the finished object was quite chunky, which I'll explain when we come to that section. And the other piece I've been working on, it's a wee ornament, which you'll have seen if you're following me on Instagram. And it's a bit time consuming. The confetti is real in that one. And also, with it coming up to Christmas and stuff, there's been other things that have been getting done that aren't stitching related, just getting prepped for the season and all that. You all know how it is. So let's go into the whip. The one whip this week, just one. It's not normally as poor as that, but this week we have just the one. This is an ornament from Heaven and Earth Designs. I like ornaments. I've got more chance of finishing them. I love the big designs. I'm really subscribing to theory, go big, go home for my big designs. If you can get supersize max colour, why wouldn't you? I never worry about wall space. That's making a certain assumption here that I'm going to finish it. I never made that assumption. If I do finish it, it's a bonus. But I'm not a finisher stitcher. I'm more a process stitcher. I enjoy the process of stitching on all my different projects. That's why I have so many. If they get finished, that's good. It's a bonus. If they don't, well, the world's not coming crashing down. I'm enjoying working on all these projects. I love working with the colours, working with the threads, and the different fabrics. So, what are we working on? So this is Abundance of Joy. Somewhere I might have a picture. Well, I might even have it on my tablet. Not prepared, not prepared. There's no point showing you a bit of something without letting you see where it ultimately will end up. This one may well get finished. Let's have a look. Ooh, tablets. Even the tablet's slow this morning. Right, view that. Zoom that out. So, this is Abundance of Joy by, the artwork is by Donna Gelsinger. I love her Christmas pieces. They're so evocative of how I imagine romantically Christmas might be, as opposed to what we get nowadays in the 21st century. Anyway, that's the picture. Oh, there's Mickey again. So it's Santa and a deer and a baby. That's very sweet. Very kind of typical Christmas stuff. I thought, well, now's the time to do it. So, where have I got to? This is going, although there's a curve on it, this is a very interesting mathematical one, this. There's a curve and then I'm doing straight diagonals. I'm sure the mathematicians out there will be wondering how to measure that area. Calculus is a wonderful thing. And here's where we are. So, let's have a look, holding the bobbins out there with all the part threads. See those part threads? See that confetti? But then, when you see that wee deer's face looking out at you, it suddenly becomes worth it, doesn't it? So this is being stitched on 25 count gridded even weave. It's 1/1 and I'm using CXC threads for this one. All this came from Abby at Crossing Crafts. my go-to for cutting up my full coverage pieces. But isn't that just cute? So I've done that diagonal and I've started the next one. I'm doing my on gridded fabric, I do my diagonals in 20s along. So we started the next one there, right? We've got the start of Santa's boots, and then we'll just come up and see how far we get in this diagonal until I decide I want a change. He's lovely, isn't he? She, who knows? But anyway, I couldn't believe it when I just to glance at when I was working on it. I looked away for something and I turned back and I suddenly saw this face looking at me and I thought, oh, the confetti works. So there we go. The part threads I've got them in these lovely I don't know, folding over bobbins. They're plastic. It's good for keeping the threads out of the way. So that one is for the diagonal that's finished. This one here is for the diagonal that I'm working on. As I part the threads for that. We don't want to get them mixed up. It's bad enough with all these threads hanging around. Let me just put that back in my Q-snap because I'll be looking at that later today for a wee while. Let's not try. Let's try to get the threads not under the clamp. There we go. One day I will show you kind of my stitching working area without making you too seasick when I rock the camera. Progress on this so far is, let me just get into it and see what it's going to tell me stats wise. So we are at 1,437 stitches out of 17,601, which gives a percentage of 8.16%. Not bad for a week's work. I only started this way last Friday evening, I think it was, so I'm pleased with that. Now then, the other piece. So this is the finish. You may well, again, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll have seen this because I was absolutely delighted with this when it finished. This is from Stitching Book Club. This is the latest offering from them called Dracula. And it was great fun to stitch. I really enjoyed this. This is the third stitch along this year I have finished. Unheard of. A hat trick, and Sal's finishing in the year they're supposed to finish. And on time for them all as well. I can't believe it. So there was Monster House, which you all saw when I started the channel. There was Smaug, which you saw the finish of that last time I recorded. And then today we have Dracula. Don't expect any more in a rush. I've got another one in the go from Pain Free Crafts, which is a full coverage. There's no way that's getting finished anyway. Well, it's not finished in time. That Sal finished earlier this year. And I've just made a wee start at some point. Oh, when did I start that? It was before I started recording these videos. So there's that, and then next year I've also signed up to the Cross Stitch Studio Mystery Sal, which is on, I think it's Betsy is saying something along the lines of Celestial Inspirations. So looking forward to seeing what that looks like. And I've also got the one from the Historical Sampler that we talked about last time, the Little Owl patchwork one. So I think that'll do for the start of the year, and we'll see how we get on. But anyway, back to Dracula, we digress. So Dracula got finished. The last part was quite big. It was the bottom third of the chart. As I'd anticipated, it was the border. I repeated the top border, and that was all fine. It just took a wee while to stitch in. It all met up, which is always a bonus. It's always a bit of an anxious moment when you're stitching a border and you're coming round to the last part. Is it going to meet up? Do we have the right number of stitches? Are we in the right column or row? And it worked. It was good. That was all right. Then we get the author, date of writing, and then the letters of the book Dracula, and the letters are spectacular in this. So let's have a look and see what Stuart's talking about. Let's hold it back here and get the finished effect. So we've got a very nice border at the top, a crescent moon, a couple of bats, the main man himself having a wee snooze in his coffin before he goes out for lunch or dinner. It'll be dinner, I suppose, in the evenings. Couple of wolves, the plants on either side, which somebody had suggested might be Draculus vulgaris or some such, which would make sense. Then we've got the Dracula. I think that's my favourite part, that word, because look how it starts off black and then it blends down into the reds. There's 3 reds in there, I think. There's 814, 498 and 321. And it is a marvellous effect, isn't it? The way that they become very bloody at the bottom. Then we've got Bram Stoker's name in a nice light grey and a repeat of the border. So let's bring it in and have a wee closer look, shall we? Because I'm very pleased with this, so I might as well spend a wee bit of time looking at them. So there's Dracula. Kristen very kindly gave us an enlarged chart of the face to cope with the partial stitches that were in there, so that was very helpful. I love the wolves. They stitched up really well. The bats are very effective. And then we come down. Look at the way that blood's dripping. It's a very bloodthirsty one, this. Then we have Bram Stoker. The parts of the letters are done in backstitch, as is the date. And then we got a wee repeat of the border. And coming back, there it is in its entirety. I loved this. I really enjoyed working on it. I love the way the reds blended into each other, and the border was really nice. So this is stitched on a 28 count linen from Sparkly. So I've got the label beside me, so I'm sitting looking at that as we speak. Let me just lift up so I look at the camera again. It's a Fabric of the Month special from Sparkly's. It is that one. If you've never used Kate's fabrics before, get to it. Her fabrics are really good. She has a UK supplier. But their fabrics are really nice, and our lead times aren't too bad. I ordered a piece for the Bella Filipina Sal in November, and I got it roughly about 4 weeks later, say, which is what she told me to expect. So she does keep to her timelines. I'm in her Fabric of the Month club, which is really good. I love getting the surprise every 2 months, so it's very affordable, very economical. What else to tell you? I stitched it with the CXC threads called Colours, or they're called 4 Colours on CXC, and I did it 2/2 full cross, unless there was partial X's for the where the face is. So once again, there's Dracula. This may well be my thumbnail for this video. Dracula with a Santa hat. Nah. Okay, so that's that one. So while we're on the topic of finishes, I hunted out a couple of other pieces that I have finished in time gone past. So let's have a wee look. I thought I would share these with you. I thought I'd roll them up. This one's anything but rolled. It's got a lovely diagonal crease across the top. This is from Little House Needleworks. I think about 3 or 4 years ago, maybe 5. They did a series of small samplers based around houses in the months of the year. So I've collected them all. I haven't done them all. Done January. So here's the January one. I'm just hoping it shows up. It does shows up fine. There we go. So this was stitched on a 28 count very loose fabric, as you will see. That's probably part of the reason I didn't do any more. I liked the fabric colour, but I didn't like the fabric itself. It was too loose, and that part of it was my problem as well. I probably turned it too tight in my Millennium frame. I've got a small Millennium frame this type of fabric fits into quite nicely, and I like my fabric drummed tight where I can. So I think the next time I do these, I'll probably do them in a Q-snap, which isn't quite as unforgiving at times when you tighten your fabric. I might have just been too eager to tighten the fabric on there. So I've got plenty of other fabric I can be stitching these on, so these could well come out again. I collected all the threads at the same time for this. These were Classic Colourworks, as I recall. I see them hanging with my other Classic Colourworks off my Needle Needs frame. So there was that one. That was finished a few years ago. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. I told you that I could turn it into a pillow, but it's quite long for a pillow or a cushion. Thoughts? Happy to hear your thoughts on that proposal. I mean, it'd be easy enough to turn it into. I'll just trim the fabric down. It's not a problem doing that. I'm just wondering what it would look like. But it's very pretty though. It's a nice design, as general country cottage needlework, little house needleworks are. Now the other one, this is a piece by Nora Corbett. It's from the Nora Corbett line, and this is one of her cottages that she designed. This is I keep wanting to say Mr. Darcy, Pride and Prejudice springs to mind. Colin Firth coming out of the water. Oh, that's another channel. That's another story to go down at some point. Moving on. This is Mr. Darby's house. It's very much a Christmassy design. It is sparkly, it is beads, it's got all the good stuff in it that I love in Nora Corbett's designs. It's stitched in a piece of 30... No, my madness. 32 count Wishelt linen, I think it's probably it's called for. I can't remember the colour of this now. But let's have a wee look, see what I'm talking about. There we go. It's a lovely piece. It's a very Christmassy sort of cottage. You see the tree there and the wreaths around the windows. The lights are on. The window's nice and bright. We have got beads. We've got more beads. There's sparkle. Up in the top there's all the cranic and the snow in the roof. And a nice little picket fence around the front. I'm assuming that's what picket fences look like anyway. I like these wee cottages. I've got a Gothic one to do, which is sitting in a shelf somewhere waiting to be started. But they're very effective. I mean, it's only a small design, but it's very effective how it looks. Again, it's rolled up on a shelf. No idea what I'm going to do with it yet. It seems a shame to frame it. I mean, this would make a nice cushion, but with all the beads and that on it, it would need to be a very decorative cushion that nobody would dare sit on. My wrath would fall upon them. But it's lovely though, isn't it? I love the sparkle. I was looking at it through another room where it was sitting in the shelf, and I unrolled it and the sun had just come in through the window, which is not doing now. I'm looking out and there's a lovely rain shower dropping its glory on us. And the sun was just catching the sparkle in it. It was lovely. Right. So I'll just roll that one up and put it away. So, where's my running order? So we've talked about that and that. Haul next, or bags. Let's do bags. So last time, if you remember, we got halfway through a bag and I decided enough was enough because there was so much in it. So we'll just continue with that bag, and I have another one out as well to share the contents with you. I just put my hand on this in and just grabbed one, and I quick looked at it first. I thought, oh, I forgot I had that. What can I say? I was speaking to one. Hang on, just get this bag up. If I can grab anything. Oh, got it. I was speaking to one of my friends yesterday who was castigating me because I had a box of Veriswa silks for 3 small samplers from Has Across the Sea plus Jane Fiddes. So I bobbinated them all, and they all sit in a bobbin box. And Carl was asking me what the Veriswa silks were like. Well, once I picked my jaw off the floor that he actually knew the term Veriswa, I still don't know where he's found that. He's either been listening very closely to my videos, or when I watch Flosstube, or one of you lot's been talking to him. Anyway, he said, I want to see what these silks feel like. And I said, alright. So I went to where I thought the box was, which was in this room, which it normally lives, and the box wasn't there. Excuse me. So I thought, well, where's it going to be? It took me a week to track it down. I saw it in a brainwave of where it might be. In my sewing room, so called because the sewing machine lives there. I keep all my projects that are on frames in there. Kind of keeps them out the way. I was going to say tidy, but that room is just never tidy. You can see the floor, or some of the floor maybe, but tidy just doesn't work for that room. But anyway, and next to where the frames are, there's a wee cabinet. And at the bottom of the cabinet was the threads, which was logical because Jane Fiddes was kind of next door to it. So I found the threads. It took me a week. And I think my friend, when she castigated me, was absolutely horrified at the fact that I've got so much stuff lying around, I could not find my silk threads. She maybe has a point. Anyway, fish bag. This is the one we started last week, one of my bags. Oh, it's got dark outside. I hope you can still see me. Well, the camera says you can see me because I can see me. Right, where did we get to? Let's have a look. Rummage. Right, I think we started there, so when we get to there, I know I'm done. Right, let's see. So, we have first off, we have a piece by Jeanette. I was going to say Jeanette Douglas, but it's not. Who's Blue Flower? Anyway, Sleeping Bee. Hang on to see if I can find the designer's name. I can't remember who the lady is that does the Blue Flower. Her name's not in the chart, sadly. No, it's just copyrighted. Oh no, Janine McGowan, that's the one. I do have the Quilting Bee, which has been a work in progress for more years than I would care to admit. It's a piece of 40 count something or other. One day you will see it because I can see where it lives. I'm looking at that area just now. But this is the Blue Flower. Sorry, designed by the Blue Flower. This is Sleeping Bee. I've only had one cup of coffee this morning, you can tell. All the neurons aren't firing yet. Anyway, I like these designs. And I have the fabric and I have the threads. So there's no excuse for this not to be started. I decided I would be keeping this until I finished the Quilting Bee. Anyway, here's what we've got. Some, oops, threads everywhere. Yeah, just hodgepodge. There we go. So that's what we've got. We've got a nice piece of 40 count Newcastle something. And the Classic Colourworks and Weeks Dye Works threads for it. So that's all good to go eventually. Note the use of the word eventually. I'm making no commitment promises to when it'll start. Right, let me just put all this back together. Talk amongst yourself for a minute or two. Well, a second or two. As I try and get these back in the bag. Why is it always so difficult to put things back in bags when you're trying to talk on video? There. This is a 42. It's 40 count Newcastle in flax. The bag. I kept the bag with the label on it. How organised. Right. So that can go back in the bag. What have we got next? Oh, this is a Jane Greenough design. I don't know if you ever watched Jane Greenough on the Sewing Studio channel. For the UK residents, that's a channel you get in Sky, Freeview, Virgin, whatever your provider of choice may or may not be. And anywhere else in the world, YouTube, you can get them on there. They upload their programmes every day onto that. Jane Greenough is a well-known cross-stitch designer, and she set up and ran the cross-stitch guild, but still has a healthy interest in that, but she no longer runs it. But when she comes on to Sewing Studio with John Scott, I might not buy everything, but oh, it's hilarious watching. They've known each other for such a long time, and they really just take the piss out of each other. It's brilliant fun. Love it. And some of her designs I quite like. I mean, they are of a certain type, but some of that type I quite enjoy. So first off, we've got what she's called pretty boxed pin cushions with a this is a pin cushion thing. So there we go. Strawberries, I think, was the theme for this. Yep. Comes with the threads. And I was going to say, I'm not sure in the chart there, no, that's just the instructions for the strawberry pin cushions. So it's going to be like a mattress style finish. So that'll be nice. And continuing in the same theme, we've got a mini chatelaine and scissor watt bow. She has explained where the word watt bow came from, and I can't remember. If you're sufficiently interested, Google will be your friend, I'm sure. So we've got a wee scissor holder, and this thing here is the watt bow, which is, I suppose, the weighted piece at the end. You sew it in 3 squares on one piece of fabric, and then the trick is all in the folding, like a biscornu, I suppose. And you get these lovely scissors with them, which apparently are lethal. Apparently these are very, very sharp. So, another pair of scissors for me. And I'm not going to turn around because there's a bit of chart on the back of this, but that's the threads. I mean, they won't take long to organise. There's not that many, I should be able to sort that out reasonably straightforwardly. Right, next we have another Plum Street. Plum Street's going to be a theme today, as you will find out. Oh, this is organised, apart from the fabric, but let's have a look. I've only recently come to Plum Street. I'd say recently, maybe in the past 3 or 4 years. I'd heard about them, but I never actually gone looking. And then I used to see some in Flosstube. I think LOL Stitcher was probably a guilty party for me getting quite a few of the ones I've got. Amanda at Alba Stitcher was probably another guilty party. You all know what you've done to me. So, oops, there we go. That's the design, and it is called, what is it called? Pink. This is LOL Stitcher. I remember her doing this, and I immediately went to buy it. This is Pink House Sampler. I think she might have finished it. I've still to start. No surprise there. Let's bring it in a wee bit. Aye. So that's going to be nice when it's done. And we have the threads. There we go. That's nice muted colours. Yes, I must remember still to snip these before I start pulling the threads out of it. So that's in this bag. This bag is like Mary Poppins' carpet bag, isn't it? And bottomless. I'm not quite ready to pull a coat stand out of it yet, but right, in there. Don't bend. Thank you. So that's that one back in its place. That can go to the back. And this is the last one in the bag. This is another blue flower one by Janine McGowan. At least this one, their name's printed at the bottom of the front page. I can see it this time. So we have... This is lovely, this. This is called Night Walked Down. I saw somebody 2 or 3 years ago in Flosstube doing this. I thought, oh, I like that, that's really nice. And there is a verse on it. Night walked down the sky with the moon in her hand. And that's what one day it will look like. It keeps going dark. Isn't it lovely? So this will be stitched with a mixture of Weeks Dye Works, Gentle Art and Classic Colourworks. And funnily enough, I have them. That'll be organised. Can't run my fingers through them because I've not snipped the ends yet. Nice colours though, aren't they? Nice mixture. That's a lovely blue. It says, is it blue? No, it is. Nice yellowy orange thing going on here. This will be lovely when I eventually get started on it. The use of all these conditional words eventually, maybe. Well, there's no maybe. I will start this because I think it's nice. My plan is ultimately to start all of these things. Let's not say so much of the finishing of them, but it'd be good to get them all underway. If I've gone to the trouble of buying stuff, I might as well get some of the pleasure out of working on them. Right, that's that bag finished. Ridiculous contents of a bag taking 2 videos to display. So that can go down there, and let's have the other bag up. I thought this video was going to be short, but we're at 28 minutes already. Right, so in here, what joy do we have? So this is one of my bags, very funky K-facet fabric. This is a vinyl fronted one. I'll take the picture out, I don't want to spoil the surprise. It's a vinyl fronted bag, as you can see. I was always feeling very yellow that day. A lovely bright yellow. A wee ray of sunshine, just like myself. So, what's hiding in this sunny bag? This is a Teresa Wenzel piece. This is I think this is an out of print or very difficult to get hold of, so I was very lucky when I bought this. Excuse me. It's a kit for The Guardian. This watchful dragon over the castle. Huge dragon, tiny castle. And a lovely kind of Celtic knot style border, which looks lovely. And I remember when I started stitching, I thought, oh no, this is going to take forever, because you got to be very careful with all the fractionals so that it goes over and under, or it looks like it's going over and under where it should. And you're going to have a very interesting Celtic knot border. One of the Escher trompe l'oeil, the optical illusions. And I do think I've started it. There's my threads. So Cereal boxes made brilliant floss organisers. What was this? This is shredded wheat. No shade in this household. So that's all the threads and the blends. So far. It's all the threads, but it's not all the blends yet. And we had made a start on this. This will be in a 28 count, I imagine. Aye, 28 count. I've done more than I thought, actually. That's not bad. Can you detect the surprise in my voice? So I think this will probably have to be done in Q-snap because there's not enough fabric allowance to cope with it being in a frame and a scroll frame. But that's not a problem. So here's where we are. I started in the top left. There's a thing. So we've got a fair bit of the border in. Have I backstitched it? No, I've not done the backstitching in the border yet. It's just I've made a wee start on it though up at the top there. So you see what I mean about it going in over and under. And we've got a lot of the sky, a bit of the cliff, and I started with the dragon. So this will be 2/2 or whatever she calls for in her thread counts. But it's stitched over 2 with the provided floss and provided 28 count fabric. I'm quite impressed with that. I forgot I got that much done. Oh, there was a nice wee surprise, wasn't it? Right, let's get this away. So that's the bag section for today. Oh no, well, maybe I might have something else to show you. In my last video I mentioned that a lady had asked me, she's probably choking when I said the word lady. If you're watching this, you'll probably kill me the next time you see me. Anyway, she had asked me if could see if I could make some pouches to cover lamps. And I said, aye, of course. So YouTube was my friend, and I found a couple of videos and sort of combined them to get what I wanted out of it. And then I made one for myself, so I thought I'd just share that with you. Well, I'm saying then, this is one of the first ones I made before I worked out the proper sizes for it. So this is quite a big one for my lamp, but it fits it, so it doesn't matter. So a kind of nice geometric thing going on at the back. We have butterflies, colourful butterflies actually, and it's a drawstring thing at the top there with macrame cord, and it works out alright. So it's fully lined inside as well. What I hadn't done with this one, this is why it's my one, because this was a kind of prototype, I hadn't lined the tabs at the top, but the ones that the lady who asked me to make them for, they're lined at the top, because I worked out how to do that and make it so that it could actually all hang together properly. Right, so that was the bags haul. Oh, there's a lot of haul. Let's start with charts. So Plum Street, we have 3 Plum Street charts. These are the latest ones that would come out. Sue at Peakside had put a message up on Facebook about charts coming that she'd had from Plum Street, that were due to come from Plum Street. Would anybody like to pre-order? And I thought, yes please. So I got 3. The first one I got was Winter Moon, which is a rather nice house with the hair at the top, the hair in the front of the moon. Well, the moon's offset to the side there. So I got that. I haven't any threads or anything like that. I might just do these in DMC and see how it comes out instead of getting the fancy threads, because it's quite an extensive list. Next we got the Salem sampler, which is that one, which I think I shall enjoy stitching that. Love that skull with the wings at the top there. And there's some 1/1 work in this as well, so that'll be good. I think that's down at the bottom there somewhere. So very pleased with that. The Salem sampler. I like smaller pieces. Well, I like everything in stitching. What's not to like, to be honest? I keep saying this, I'll stitch anything and everything. Right. And the last one we have is Salem Mini Moon. This will make a nice wee cushion one day for Halloween or some such. So that's quite fun, isn't it? So they came this week. I pre-ordered them in November at some point when Sue put the post up. So invoice came in, and then after I paid, a couple of days later they dropped through the letterbox. Now, Flosstube, Flossmas videos, these people that do Flossmas, I don't know how they do this every day. It's miraculous. It certainly gives me lots to watch in the evenings when I'm sitting here stitching. One of the ones I've been watching is Michelle at Mama Loves You GB. I'll link her down below. And one of the things she's been doing in hers is linking freebies. Nice wee Christmas freebies from wherever she discovers them. I don't know what her source is, but she's good. So the first one we have, I printed off a couple just to show you, but I would recommend you, if you haven't been watching her, go and start watching them. She's got 2 or 3 advents that she's doing. I think primarily that it's the Evertotes Jacob Model Folk Embroidery collaboration one she's doing, but she does one or two other things that she talks about in her videos. Now that she's back after her power cut I think it was last weekend that she was out of power. So the first one I printed off was from Twin Peaks Primitive called Noel Ride. And these will be quite quick stitches, I think. They're wee smalls, they're lovely. And another one I printed off was from Erin Elizabeth Designs, and this is called Frosty Owl Freebie. So I thought that was quite fun. And there's a few others I've got saved to my OneDrive for future reference. I just have to remember they're there. I printed those out just because I knew I had one to kind of jog my memory. Next we have some fabrics of the month from Crafty Kate. I've got October and November to show you, which are somewhat similar but sufficiently different that I'm happy enough about that. These are fat quarters in linen. It's 28 count. So let's see what we've got here. So this is October's. Let me open this out. Nice kind of sky blue, summery skies. Let me bring that in a bit. That's better. There we go. Zoom along. I have no idea what you're seeing now. All I can see is the shape of my phone through the fabric. Hopefully you're seeing something that makes sense to you. There we go. So that came. I can go into the fabric stash till I decide what's going to get stitched on it. How was this folded? How people fold their fabrics. Anyway, doesn't matter. It'll get sorted. So I need to cut these labels off and put them with the fabrics. I generally don't like keeping my fabric in plastic bags for no other reason than I just don't like it. And then we have the November one, which is a kind of purpley colour, faint pale purple maybe. Aye, maybe. There we go. So again, that's a 28 count, fat quarter. I'll go to the shelf with all my other fabrics till I decide what's getting stitched on what. Carl's still snoring in bed, I think, at the moment. He didn't come to bed till yawn time this morning. What was he watching? Never Ending Story, which is its 40th anniversary this year. So there was a very big box set of that arrived from Australia for his Christmas present. As requested. It's very good. We're very organised for Christmas, and he knows the kind of stuff I like, and it's always a surprise for me on Christmas Day what comes out. What the box is, it's usually books and gin. Never got all, maybe some chocolates here and there. But this year there's also stitchy stuff. And I can't wait to see what it is he's got me. And for him, it makes it really easy. He just sends me links of everything he wants. It's usually Blu-rays, and he's a huge Blu-ray collector, film buff. So there was all sorts of those goodies have been arriving through the post. One of which was the Never Ending Story 40th Anniversary Edition, which I can't wait to see that myself. Actually, it's huge. Huge book. I have no idea what's in it. I mean, a Blu-ray is what, a tiny wee circle, so the Lord alone only knows what else came with it. Right, what else have we got? We have an unboxing, sort of. Zoe Pateman, Zoe's Cross Stitch Designs or some such on Facebook. She does fabric boxes for seasons, and I ordered the Christmas one. Came in this lovely box. all nicely decorated. And what do we have in the box? What's in the box? Well, there's all sorts. Hang on, just how this set up so we can actually lift things out to show you. So it came all nicely wrapped up until I get my hands on it, and then it became not so nicely wrapped up. So a nice kind of Christmas paper, wee candy canes and all Christmassy stuff. So that's all to the good. And what do we get in the box? So we got a wee kit, Christmas giraffe, which is that. So that's quite fun. Wee card, thank you for the order. Here's Zoe's details. I'll put that there. You can screen grab that if you want to go looking. So she's on Facebook and she's on Etsy. And she's all sorts of interesting fabrics. I'm not sure, I think she screen prints maybe, or I'm saying no, I have no idea how she does it, but there's some lovely fabrics that she has. So, we got a nice piece of sparkly ribbon. Wee stars on it. What else did we get? Some goodies, some eating goodies, which are still intact. Not been touched yet. Gingerbread, I think they are. Nice wee calendar. A nice wee hanging calendar. I haven't seen calendars like that for years. So I'll get that hung up somewhere around my desk. I'm sure Carl will put a hook in the wall for me. Ask him nicely. He does like a wee bit of DIY. A needle minder holder with a needle minder. So we've got a wee needle minder there, and a nice holder, a kind of magnetic board that'll be just to sit them on. That's actually really good because all my needle minders at the moment, I think I moved to the south of England, needle minders are on my cart at the moment. It sits behind me, my hobbycraft cart, which is metal, so they all just sit on there till I haul them off for a project. Then we get some aperture frames with fabric in them, so that's always handy for wee cards, wee gifts. And because I get Readly every now and again, I can download some of the wee things out of the World of Cross Stitch magazine, which would be ideal for that. And there's a project for the next time the free offer comes along. And then we've got some Christmassy fabrics, our Christmas related fabrics. So here we have, these are all 20 count, I think I went for this time, finding the invoice. No, I didn't, I went for 18 count. So there was that piece. I mean, all of these are really nice fabrics. I'll find something to stitch on them. It's not like I'm short of things to stitch. Then we have snowmen. Oh, that's better, line it up a wee bit. So that's nice. Now we're 43 minutes, oh, we're doing well. Here's me thinking I didn't have much to talk about today. Quiet in the back rows, please, no sniggering. Merry Christmas. Lovely blue fabric. And then we get, there's always a big piece. This will be a fat quarter size. Oh, this will be 50 by 50 centimetres, so 27 inches, 19, 27 inches, 50 divided by 2 is 25, by 19 by 19, or roughly. Just kind of nice snowflake design. So, it was good value, the box, I'm very pleased. I shall enjoy sorting out what I'm going to do with what on there. I got a Halloween one which I showed to you all at some point not long ago. That'll be October probably, Halloween. So I thought I'll just treat myself to the Christmas one. I'm not disappointed, I'm glad I did. I just trying to get it all back in. Well, that must have, this Christmas giraffe must have come separate out, right? It doesn't fit in the box, it must have come with the box but not packed in the box. Off the box but not in the box, if you know what I mean. Right. Oh, more haul, one more piece of haul. Well, two bits that are related. So, Bella Filipina Sal, the black water sirens. I gave in eventually and signed up to that, so I've been gradually collecting all the bits and pieces for it. Last time you saw me, I had the threads and the bead pack. I now have the metallics and the fabric, so we're good to go. Isn't that exciting? So, what have we got? So, let's have a look at the metallics first. Get them out of the bag. These came from my favourite suppliers, Arts and Designs. Cannot recommend them highly enough for your cross-stitching needs and wants. They generally have everything. If they don't, you can put a let me know when it's in type request through, and they will order and get it in for you. The dispatch is extremely quick. Generally, if you've ordered by midday, it'll go out that night, and if Royal Mail's playing ball in the UK, you'll get it the next day, which is really good. So these are the 4 metallics that are in it. A nice kind of black gold, black silver, and a couple of dark metallic threads. So these are all the Petite Treasure braid ones from Rainbow Gallery. I'm looking forward to seeing what Rainbow Gallery do with the Cranics. I understand from some posts I've seen on Flosstube, not Flosstube, on Facebook, that they're coming out in these cards instead of the spools, which I think that's alright. It'll be easier to store, certainly. I mean, I don't mind. They're just getting taken off the whatever they're stored on to get used, so it'll be fine, as far as I'm concerned anyway. So they can go back in there. And then my fabric, this came from Sparkly's. Custom cut that she did for me. Did I keep the label? I think it's called Ocean Depth. Oh, I did keep the label. Ocean Depths. 28 count, 28 by 30 inches. I just need to work out what orientation that is. I can't remember off the top of my head whether it's longer than height or it's higher than it is wide. That would hopefully have made sense what I just said there. But the chart will tell me all. This is on 28 count because there's our beads in it. I did his mermaid one last year. You know, the seasonal mermaid, spring, summer, autumn and winter. I did that on 32 count because I did this glorious piece of 32 count fabric for it. And then I came to the beading. And let's be honest, not all the beads are there. It's just, you can't fit them all into 30. I don't know how people do it. 32 count, it really is a case of fudging it. And there's maybe a bead missing somewhere just to try and get them all in. But so I decided this one was going to be 28 count. And here's the fabric I chose. This is Ocean Depth. It's showing up actually a bit lighter on the camera there. Let's see if I bring it in and encourage it to go a bit darker. It's quite a dark fabric which suits the theme of the project, the Blackwater Sirens underneath. Carl muttered things along the lines of, why is it not sparkly? It's not sparkly enough. Not everything needs to be done in sparkly fabric, dear. No, that's not folded, but any matter means to be nice and neat that Kate sent it to me, but it's folded. And this is in one of my bags. This is a different type of bag. I found somebody on Instagram, she put up a wee tutorial of making like a laptop cover. I thought, oh, that looks a neat way of making a bag actually. So it's got a flap that folds over. Nice fabric, nice colourful fabric. And it's basically one long piece of fabric for the front, the back and the lining. So one long piece for this, one long piece of calico that I use for my linings, and one long piece of the fusible interfacing. And then you stitch it all along the top. You do a bit of origami, stitch down the sides and pull it through. Hey presto, you've got this. Couldn't believe it. So straightforward and simple. So I'll probably make some more of these, but I'll need to make them a bit longer, I think. I'll just need to cut the fabric a bit long, because this is designed to look for a laptop or a MacBook or some such. That's why it's a bit shallow there. But that's easy enough. I can add 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 inches onto the length of the fabric I cut, and then when I fold it up, I'll have a bigger pocket here. Right. Oh, so next we're going to be having is plans. I guess I've gone through everything, so that's good. I'm just looking at my list there, my running order. Right, plans. Who knows? I'll continue on a wee bit with, I'm tapping it here, Abundance of Joy. I've also got another one to start. If you watch Darren Dizzy Stitcher, you may remember about 2 or 3 years ago, he finished a piece which he called Posh Robin. I think because Robin looks like he's got a wee top hat on. It's the Quick Stitch Spirit of Winter by Sierra Marchetti. That one. So, inspired by that, I bought the chart. And then eventually I got down last week to kitting it up with Abby at Crossing Crafts. Again, for your CXC full coverage needs, Abby is excellent. Very prompt service even at this time of year. I ordered this last Thursday, Friday I think it was. And she dealt with it over the weekend and it arrived with the Royal Mail being so busy anyway. It arrived, I think it was Tuesday that dropped through the letterbox. So again, very prompt to get everything done for me. So the threads have been organised. You see they're on my favourite gift tags I get off Amazon. Who doesn't love an Amazon delivery? They brought me 2 bottles of gin yesterday. Always a lovely surprise. Well, it was a surprise. I knew I'd ordered, but it's always nice to get that. So these are the colours. I've got them all organised. So I'm going to be stitching this on 18 count gridded fabric. Sorry, I'm just running my fingers through them because I've sorted them. They've not been touched apart from being sorted onto the cards. So these have been cut up roughly. The length will be from my thumb to my shoulder. Sorry, my thumb to my elbow. But what I do, I'm doing my winding these threads for this, is I basically unspool all the skein, and then I put the 2 ends together, and then fold the 2 ends up with the loop at the other end. Repeat till I get to the length I want, and then I just snip the loops and then fold it over onto here. So this will be 2 over 1, and I can do a loop start on my 25 count. My 18 count. So that was the other bit of haul that I forgot to mention. Anyway, that's fun. That part of the plans. I want to start that. I want to start Bella Filipina's Blackwater Siren Sal. That'll get started at some point over the Christmas period. And then part 1 from Betsy at Cross Stitch Studio of the Mystery Stitch Along should drop at the start of January, so that'll be good. I'm looking forward to that. I'm on a I'm on a stash ban from January for about 5 months. This is in support of a dear friend who recently split up with their partner and has decided that for the time being the dating world is not for them. They were having a dating ban. This was announced to a few of us last weekend, last Friday it would have been probably. And in support of that I said, and I haven't needed a drink. I says, okay then. Well, I was encouraged, I suppose, with others round about me maybe, that in solidarity I wouldn't buy anything apart from like my fabrics of the month and my thread clubs that I'm in. There would be no stash purchases for 5 months. Let's see how that goes and how that works. But I wish my friend all the best in their endeavours in this. And fingers crossed that I survive. I mean, it's not like I need stash. As Maureen has said before to me in my hearing, I have more than enough here to see me through to the other side of eternity. There is stitching galore, so it shouldn't be any hardship. But you know what it is, you see something, you think, oh, I want that. So I've been buying 2 or 3 things just now while I'm still allowed to. And then I think I'll just be increasing a bit. I think I might start a wee spreadsheet. Who doesn't like a spreadsheet? Great fun. And keeping a tab on things that I've been looking at that I might want. And so if I still want them come the start of June, then I'll maybe buy them then. If I've gone off the idea, then they'll just get stroked off. And I think that's everything. Where are we at? 53 minutes. Well, we're not bad. We're within the hour, so we're alright, I think. I hope I haven't bored you too much with all my rabbiting. I will wish you all a Merry Christmas. Enjoy the season, whatever you're up to, whether you're with your family, friends, if you're enjoying the comfort of being at home, in your own space. I hope you have time to stitch and relax. You're not too run off your feet. All best wishes for 2025, whatever that may hold for us. A peaceful new year, hopefully. I will be back in 2025. I don't intend filming again this year because this is the 21st, so 28. I should be filming at the start of January, so I might be able to update you for my first 3 days of January or so on how my stash ban is going. That's going to be fun. And I think that's everything. So, as I say, Merry Christmas to you all. Thank you to all of you who have supported me on the channel since it started over the summer. It's been great fun doing these. I love engaging with you. I love all the comments. As always, please do share what you've been working on while watching. It's always interesting to see. It always sparks off ideas. These things may end up in my spreadsheet for future reference come the end of May, beginning of June. There is a reason why it's not 6 months, it is 5 months, but that may well give away the identity of the person I'm talking about, and I really don't want to do that without their permission. Hence why my comments are non-gender specific, which is very unusual for me. What else was I going to say? Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Keep commenting, keep sharing what you're working on with me, please. I always love seeing that. And if you want to get in touch, the details will be in the drop down box below. And that's it from me for 2024. Thank you. Bye.